Man City was building the game in back three in open play. Man City's back three were operating central and very narrow, and Man City was using two pivots and they were Kovacic and Rico Lewis. Leicester was defending with a defensive save of 4-4 in open play. Leicester was using a front four in open play. Leicester front four were dedicatedly not pressing Man City's back three and were holding their position. Due to Leicester front four not pressing, there was a no pressure on Man City's back three, and Man City's centre back were dictating the game easily. In open play, Leicester first line was of four players. You can see here that Leicester front line was operating central and compact. Due to Leicester front line operating central and narrow, Man City's pivot were getting cover shadow. So Leicester compact and narrow side blocked the pass route of Man City's pivots, and Man City's pivots were not able to receive the ball behind Leicester front line. So Man City was not able to build the game from the central zone, and Man City was forced to play passes in the wide zone. Now see, Leicester was playing by forming a mid block in open play. Leicester had covered the central zone and half space zone, but Leicester did not have any players in the wide zone. So when Man City's wide backs play passes in the wide zone, Man City's wingers could easily receive the ball. Man City was attacking with its front five in the final third. Erling Haaland was central and was playing as a striker. KDB and Bernardo Silva were operating in the half space, and both the winger of Man City were providing width by staying wide. As we discussed, Leicester was in mid block and their midfielder were operating centrally. Now look here, when Man City's wide back released the pass, then the position of Leicester frontline player and defensive mid was in the central zone. So when Man City's winger received the ball in the wide zone, then the Leicester midfield had no chance to cover Man City's winger. So when Man City's winger was receiving the ball, then Leicester fullback was forced to press Man City's winger and space was being created in the wide zone because Bernardo Silva was operating in the half space. So when Leicester's fullback was pressing Man City's winger, then he was using that space by going from half space to wide zone. On the other hand, Leicester fullback was pressing with high intensity when Man City's winger was receiving the ball in the wide zone. Silva was drifting wide from the half space and he was dragging Leicester defensive midfielder. So Leicester had no player in the half space and Man City winger could easily drive the ball from the half space. And talking about Leicester centre backs, they were held back by Man City's striker. Now let's talk about midfield. Man City had number advantage of 4v2 in midfield, but the number advantage of 4v2 was getting after Leicester first line was bypassed. Leicester first line consisted of four players, and Leicester first line was operating compact and centrally. Due to compact save of Leicester first line, City's between the lines players and pivots were not able to receive the ball. So Man City's between the lines player were drifting from the center to wide zone to receive the ball. Look at this heat map of Bernardo Silva and KDB, which shows that Bernardo Silva and KDB were drifting in the wide zone. Leicester front line was central, so Man City's wide backs could easily play passes to KDB and Bernardo Silva. Leicester's first line was out of the game as KDB and Bernardo Silva received the passes. In this scenario, when KDB received the ball, Leicester first line had been bypassed, and Man City pivot who was playing behind Leicester first line could have easily received the ball between the lines. After he received the ball, KDB was sprinting into the half space. Here there was a gap in the half space because Man City's winger had dragged Leicester fullback. Now in this situation, Leicester defensive midfielder could not come forward because if he had come forward, there would have been a space in front of backline. On the other hand, Man City was also attempting long balls. Man City was attacking with its front five in the final third because Bernardo Silva and KDB were operating in the half space. So because of that, Leicester fullback were being forced to defend narrow. So now when the long balls is played, Man City winger can easily receive the ball in the wide zone. In open play, Leicester was building the game in back three. Leicester right back was pushing high in the wide zone, and the left back was joining the back line by inverting. So in this way, Leicester was in back three. Man City was pressing with front four in open play. Man City's front four were operating central and compact. Due to compact operating of Man City's front four, Leicester pivot were not able to receive the ball. Leicester was using two pivots and they were being marked man to man by Man City's midfielder. You can see here that in midfield there was a 2v2 situation in front of Leicester midfielder. So Leicester was being forced to build the game from the wide zone. Now Man City's front line and midfield were in the central zone, so the wide zone was completely open to advance the ball.